Good morning, my friends. I hope you're having a great day so far. If you have been following this tragic story behind Gabby Petito, I want to update you on a few more things that have occurred since yesterday, basically. And Brian is still on the run. They don't know where Brian's at. My gosh, when are we going to find this guy, and are we going to find him alive? Happy morning to you. And that's exactly what I want to update you on. Where are we at on the story? Number one, did you guys watch John Walsh's interview? You guys know On the Hunt with John Walsh. Also, he used to do America's Most Wanted. He shared his 2 cents on it, and he even threw the cops under the bus. Like, how did you guys let this guy get away? Right? How did you let him get away? And I cannot agree with him more. First, they say they have eyes on him. Right? Then before you know it, they don't know where he's at. How in the world did that happen? Okay? You're supposed to have eyes on him. You should have someone in the front of that house, behind that house, making sure, hey, if this is our only suspect, and number one, they told us they did know where he was the whole time. They told us they were keeping tabs on him, and guess what? When Friday rolls around and the family lets him in, where's Brian? No one knows where Brian's at. Oh, the family says he went on a hike, and then now no one knows where he's at. How in the blue moon did that happen? Granted, they never said he was a suspect. They still are not saying he's a suspect. He's a person of interest, but let's be real. They go on a cross-country trip, and he comes back alone and has no answers. Police officers, do you not see the red flag in this? And I understand you can't go and arrest him. I'm not saying to arrest him or anything, but you should have had close eyes on this guy. There should have been someone out in front. There should have been someone out in back. What happened? Okay, so you guys the cops made a big blunder there. And my question is, where's Brian? How did you guys let this happen? And so little by little, more developments are coming about. What we still don't know is what has occurred. So they did announce yesterday they are ruling this case a homicide. So it's a homicide. She was killed. She didn't have an accident. She didn't fall to her death on her own. She didn't commit suicide. She was killed. Now, obviously, all roads lead to Brian. The question remains, where is Brian? Let's help put this guy to justice. If you know anything about where he may be, let's put him to justice. So this morning, new developments about Brian and some of the red flags that might have led up to some of his thinking process. And let me turn that off so it doesn't go so fast. And so now we're stuck with what happened. Where are you? What did you do? And that's where I'm wanting to figure out, like, well, come on. So allegedly, Brian had some cryptic messages on Pinterest. You guys familiar with Pinterest, where you can pin images, you can pin different things that you find interesting? And so there have been some developments around these images that he has. Now, here's the thing, is they're still verifying the user account, whether it was his or not. But I want to share with you some of what they are sharing. Did I freeze up? I might have froze up. Sorry if I froze up there. And so I want to update you on what they're saying about some of this. So this was one of the first cryptic messages that they found from Brian. Now, granted, he's apparently missing. I say he's more on the run. I mean, it's easy to say he's missing simply because you can't find him. He's missing. I can't find him. So that's where the reference of missing comes from. But truth is, he's hiding. He's obviously hiding. And so apparently he shared some cryptic and messages and some images on Pinterest, including one last month. And this is what it said last month. Don't try to find me. I have finally escaped my master's wicked clutches. What? What does that mean? What? See, now this sounds like someone who is not all there. Okay? Now, obviously, to do such a heinous crime, you're not all there. That's pretty obvious, right, Mr. Obvious? And so, now he's 23 years old. And he's just been named a person of interest in this, in her homicide. Yes, it is now a homicide. And so they say this was posted under the account B Laundry 1197. Now, it has not been confirmed yet. So they're still working on confirming this stuff. You know how people can create their own things, right? They can create their own. They want attention. They want a lot of eyeballs on them. And so that becomes, you never know what's real and not real. So then you just start getting stuff out there. And this is according to The Sun and the New York Post. And it's out there in a few other news outlets. And so it's shared that the account shares albums with a page belonging to Laundrie's slain girlfriend, and apparently also his mother, Roberta. Okay? Now again, they're still looking deeper into this. And so I find this really interesting. Again, don't try to find me. I have finally escaped my master's wicked clutches. I don't understand that. So, which is, and they say that this could have this appears to have originated from a missing dog flyer in Oregon in 2006. Now, this is according to The Sun, okay, which is a news outlet as well. And so, what does that mean? I have finally escaped my master's wicked clutches. Wow. I don't understand that. And so, and it also goes on to say, to the others I say, join me, bite the hand that feeds you, vive la liberty, la libertad. That probably is, so it's saying, live with liberty or something, by Pierre. So it's unclear when these items was posted. And so that's where it's like it's still a little up in the air as they look deeper into this. Okay? So it's interesting where this is all leading. But there's another post in the folder titled My Heart. And this is what that one is sharing on it. Right? So, and this contains a quote from Fight Club. You guys remember the movie, 1999 movie, The Fight Club, with Brad Pitt, I believe, that reads, "It's only after we've lost everything that we are free to do anything." Okay? Interesting. About 5 weeks ago, a post in a folder titled Break referred to the book Burnt Out, How to Cope with Autistic. That's interesting, right? How to cope with autistic. Burnt Out Zine, How to Cope with Autistic. So, was he autistic? No, that has not come about in any of the stories I've read. So, interesting where that is going with that. Autistic burnout is when autistic people can't do things they used to because of how little energy they have left. It takes a whole lot more energy to function whilst being autistic and do basic tasks such as remembering to eat or doing laundry. And that is a more of a little synopsis of that. And so, interesting. It went on to add that burnout leaves us feeling weak and exhausted. Interesting, which is, I don't think I have autism. I've never been tested. But so I don't really know that I can relate to that. I mean, burnout in general, everyone has that breaking point, right? Where they're just like exhausted, need to rest, can't think straight. We all go through that stuff. So interesting that this is out there. And so I think this is all so interesting. And it also adds that another quote, let her go, God bless her wherever she may be. Again, these are cryptic messages. So it's hard to really read into a lot of this. But as we know, Brian arrived back at his home in Northport, Florida on September 1st without Petito. And then come September 11th, she's finally reported missing. And then now laundry's done disappeared. And there's a nationwide search for Petito. Okay. Now on Tuesday, police confirmed her death was a homicide. And so as they continue to find laundry, we'll see where it goes. And this is some of that cryptic messages that I was sharing with you. And you can see, where it's saying, let her go, God bless her wherever she may be. I mean, it's only a matter of time, right? Let's find this freaking creeper. Let's find this creeper. Now, this is still yet to be confirmed, so we're going to find out a lot more about this. We're going to find out a lot more as to what is going on. Jim Jonas says, Brian was just found 2 minutes ago on Fox. Did you see they find? Let me see that. Because if they found Brian, that would be everywhere. That would be everywhere if they find him. I'm not seeing anything that is Ryan, you're right. You're asking someone else. Okay. Yeah, Jim, I'm not finding anything on that. I mean, if you got some concrete, I would love to hear it. So if you know where this is at, I would love to hear it. Right now, according to the Post, according to New York Post, these are some cryptic messages that have come across. But if they found Brian, that would be all over the news outlet. Ryan is right. That would be all over the news outlet if they found Brian. What do you guys think about all of this stuff? Let me know in the comments. Jim, Ryan, what do you guys think? Because this is just crazy. I've heard some people say they think he also committed the double homicide out there. I'm not buying that one bit. The cops, debunked that right away. It took days for them to just be like, okay, no, Brian is not related to this double homicide that's going on over there. So we'll have to see what's going on. This is the latest. I will keep you guys updated. I'm heading out to a meeting here. I network quite a bit. I love networking. And so I'll be back after, and any news updates, I will definitely be breaking it in. But as of right now, Jim Jonas, I don't know that I believe that. So unless you have something there, I would love to know what it is. My hope is that they find him alive and he doesn't take the coward way out and take his own life. He's desperate. Now, my thought process is his family said, don't go hurting yourself. You guys heard about the note on the car. The parents apparently left a note on the car. Brian, don't do anything to yourself. The parents know something. The parents know something. And yesterday they found her, or yesterday the autopsy confirmed this is a homicide. So we know that we're dealing with a homicide. She was killed. There was no accident. I don't know. And again, this is all speculation. This is my guess on the matter. He got home. He told his parents he lost his cool. I'm guessing his attorney doesn't know all the facts. They only know what he wants them to know. And obviously, Brian's attorney, my gosh, people have swarmed their Google and just gave a whole bunch of negative reviews because of that. Now, I do believe everyone should have representation, okay? But he should just come out, be honest, be open, and share. Please, what happened to Gabby Petito? What happened? Just share it. Good morning, Modern Prospector. Good morning. Good morning, Ryan. Good morning, Jim. Thank you guys for being a part of this. I'm about to wrap this up. I just wanted to update you guys on this newest development about these Pinterest and the way his mind was thinking within weeks of all of this. And there is still some confirmation going on that stuff. But there's what is going on with Brian? Where is Brian? And so some more developments have come out about Brian and Gabby arguing outside of the store called Moonflower, right? So apparently a guy named Chris called up. I have a little skepticism in that as well. If you hear the 911, it kind of is not all. I don't know. There's some 911s that seem accurate, some 911s that don't seem accurate. But as we know, Gabby and her then boyfriend Brian, fought over a phone and argued aggressively in front of onlookers. Like Chris called the 911 in about the August 12th tussle between Petito and Laundrie in the Moab area that led to the 911 call, which also led to them pulling them over. And that's when you have the interview. You can see the interview on the channel if you want. I uploaded that yesterday to share. And so it led to a 911 call and police intervention in the midst of their doomed tour of national parks out west. And so at one point, Petito is quoted as asking Laundrie, "Why do you have to be so mean?" Ding, ding, ding. We knew this before the cops said he's not a person of interest yet. We know where he's at. Freaking dumb. How dumb. We know where he's at, but then when we go to get him, we don't know where he's at. What are you thinking there? Like, I don't understand how you guys are supposed to be professionals, right? You're supposed to be professionals at this. How did they let him slip through their fingers? Now it's costing the agency, everyone, a lot more in resources in order to cover all this ground to find him when you said you knew where he was when he was at his home, but you don't have him covered now. I don't understand that. Right? So I find that terrible on its own. And so I hope that people come out of that and talk, right? So the witness offers a different perspective than the person who called the fight into 911, and he saw Laundrie apparently hit the Long Island the witness says he saw him hit Gabby. The person who called it in did not say particularly that, okay? They did say they were fighting over phone. And so this is, she's been missing since late last month. The couple here, they were out in front of the Moonflower Community Co-op just about before 5 p.m. on August 12th. And, and according to Chris, they were talking aggressively at each other and something seemed off, according to Chris in his statement. And he says, I think the male took the female's phone. Okay? And this is where a lot of accounts do say they fought over a phone. And it appeared that he didn't want her in the white van. That's what he said. And, you know, and he climbed into the driver's seat and she followed him. And Chris in the statement says, at one point, she was punching him in the arm and or face and trying to get into the van. And he says, I wasn't sure how serious this was. It was hard to tell if they were sort of play fighting, but from my point of view, something definitely didn't seem right. And this is when they do pull them over and they talk to them to see what's going on. Okay? They pull one aside, they pull another aside, and they get both of the versions. And at the end of it, they just let them, you know, they feel there was, according to the cops, there was no domestic violence involved. Even though they had a little admission to some hitting. Now, when they look at Brian, and you can see it in yesterday on the videos that I share, he had scratches on the side of his face. Actually, on his right side, he had some fresh scratches. My guess is while she was trying to get the phone, she accidentally put some marks on him. Alex says, my theory, he reached Arcadia Cargo Train Depot within the 4 days and stowed away to Mulligan, West Florida, then captured on trail cam through Baker. That, you know what? That's very interesting. That's an interesting theory. That's an interesting theory. Thank you for sharing that. So those are the latest few updates. Nothing too major. They're still looking for Brian. They're still looking for Brian. If you know anything, call 1-800-CALL-FBI with any tips that you may have. My friends, I'm Manny Rodriguez, and I'm sure I'll see you later today as we continue to go deep in true crime and help get this solved. We already know the parties involved. We know Brian's the man to talk to. Right now, granted, they're not calling him a suspect, but he's a suspect in my view. He's a suspect. Let's be real. He's a suspect. Come on. Why else would he be running? He is definitely a suspect. Why are they not calling him a suspect yet? That remains to be seen there. My friends, I'm Manny Rodriguez, and I'm sure I will talk to you a little later on today.